Good evening. Welcome to Blues Focus Unplugged, episode 3. Coming to you this week, which seems to be a long week between fixtures, not having that midweek round of games to say. I'll be hosting today. My name's Josh. Today I'm joined by Kieran again. How are we?
I am well. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. Had some time away with the kids, so it's nice to relax and come back, get straight back
Go,
into it.
go anywhere nice?
Obviously, guys, as Dartmouth. Just down to see some family. So yeah, just down there to say hello to people and take the kids away really.
Nice.
But yeah, nice little week between games this week, which is a bit unusual. We also obviously know the championship comes thick and fast.
Don't get too used to
Saturday,
that.
monumental win. Yeah, monumental win away at Blackburn, thanks to Lyndon Dykes of all people. And then this Saturday, hosting Gary Rowett. First time he's back at St Andrews since relegation season, which hopefully there's nothing negative towards him because it wasn't his fault. It was obviously a situation that owners have now admitted to, but we moved past it. So yeah, we'll get straight into it. Obviously, as always, guys, get your comments in, get your likes, get your suggestions in. Anything you want to discuss, drop it in the comments. We'll try and get through as much of it as we can. Just remember that this podcast is for you to have your say on what we talk about, not just to listen to us rabble on for an hour and a half. Make sure you get them comments in, and we will get into it. We'll go on the most recent news we've had as of yesterday. We were discussing it just. 7 players were listed into the PFA Team of the Year of 2025. So the team was Ryan Alsop, Alex Cochrane, Charlie Cowman, Richard Kone, Lloyd Jones, Paik Sung Ho, Kwame Poku, Christopher Clara, Tomoki Iwata, Jay Stansfield, Ethan Laird. So obviously having the 7 players that couldn't make the EFL team of the season, making it into the PFA League One team of the year. So let's start off, Kieran. Thoughts on that? 7 players.
I think they've done really well to only pick 7. It could have been more. Being honest, the team was just unreal. But the 7 they have picked were unreal last season, like unreal and consistent, and did everything they needed to do. So really happy for the players. Again, we said it however many times last year that how can we not get into a team of the week every single week? I think there was only like 3 or 4 occasions that someone got in after doing something absolutely incredible, but that was the most frustrating thing, and it was just kind of like a big FU from the organisations that were in charge of
EFL
League
stuff,
One,
yeah.
and I think those awards have really showed that not only did the 111 points that we managed to accumulate last season show that we were the best team in the world ever, but we were consistently the best players on the pitch over the majority of the pitch. So I thought that was good.
When you have a look at going through them and you look at players that were in the caliber League One last season, as much as people say we dog walked it, got 111 points and it was easy, whatever. We come up in some games where we scraped 3 points, and there were some other players in that league that were challenges, let's say that.
Yeah.
But when you look at the team of, you had Ethan Laird, who had been with us in the Championship, Stansford obviously signed on a permanent, and Paik was with us in the Championship. The fact that Alex Cochrane, Tomoki Iwata, Ryan Alsop, Christopher Clara, first seasons, most of them, apart from Alsop, I think, first season in EFL English football.
Yeah.
I said not an easy league to go into, even though we made it easy, not easy, but for their first season. And then you look at the stability of our squad now. We discuss it week in, week out. I don't want Chris's job, it's too much decision to make. But the only person out of that 7 that's been nominated, Ethan Laird, who's not what I would consider what we've looked at so far a regular starter, but he's had 2 man of the matches back to back, and what he did against Blackburn on Saturday, come on, and
Absolutely
he
changed the
showed
game.
what he's capable of doing. I think you look at that 100%, but you look at those 7 players and you think, if that's what they can do in League One at, say, I've seen Davis, someone might be able to quote me if I'm correct, the wrong percentage, but um, if I think he said that we only come out about 60-70% most of games, we weren't fully at 100% every game.
Yeah.
How dangerous are those players going to be this season when we are pushing at 100% most games, because we're coming up against teams like Blackburn who are going to give it all, and Ipswich are going to give everything. We've got Southampton, we've got Oxford coming up Saturday, who are going to probably hold back and be like a League One team. But then
They're
we
going to
go
be a
away to
Gary
Leicester,
Rowett team.
and they're going to be a strong team. So yeah,
Definitely.
but
They're going to be a Gary Rowett team. Sit back and
you
try
look
and
at these
counter
7
attack for a
players that have been
1-0 win.
selected, and you look at that's what I feel like they're going to aim for. But how good are these players going to be at 100%? Do you reckon? And can they do 100% for the whole season?
I would say they were all quite
I think
good.
your computer's lagging a little bit.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, you're a little bit out of time, should we say?
Is that better?
A little bit. You seem to just zoom in and listen to what I'm saying rather than talking. So, well,
Sorry. So I would say that the players that were selected are all the still guaranteed starters. The only one I'd say is who might be having a little bit of a struggle right now would be Ethan Laird. But then after that game the other day, how is he not on the first team starting? I know Bright's come in and played well to start with, but it's doing well. Can they give 100%? I think we will see a big upgrade, especially with the players we've brought in and around them. We will see a huge upgrade out of those players and their performance too, playing a little bit more attacking football. Last year was it was all about slow build up and getting through and doing what we needed to do. But yeah, I think we will see a huge growth out of the team this year.
one thing I want to point out is what, as much as his name confused me, I realised Dan has put in here. Love to see Ethan Laird in there. Hope he can keep his place in the squad. Looking really strong when he's come on this year so far. I think you go back to the Blackburn game. I know Davis came out in his interview after on the Blues Plus and said that Cochrane had got a little knock in the first half. I think he'd gone in with a challenge and he just took a knock from it. So it was a precautionary substitution. But as much as we've announced we're looking for a new defender and centre midfielder, and we're obviously you see all the rumours of strikers and stuff. Does it help having Ethan Laird, who is that versatile player that can play right and left back, in the squad, or do we desperately need a left back that's going to come in and let Laird just focus on the right hand side, or is it good to use him as both?
I think we play him in his primary position and keep that competition there between him and Bright. But we are very short at left back, and I think it's a great option that we've got him that can play there as well, should we need him to. So I think Ethan Laird is still one of my first names on the team sheet, because he just gives everything in every game, and that's all we've ever asked for from every single player that's ever put on a Birmingham City shirt. And you can see that he runs his socks off. He doesn't stop. He plays with a smile, whether he's just ran 100 yards and not got the ball or nothing. He plays with a smile, and I think his personality really ramped people up on the pitches alongside him. So I'd really keep Ethan Laird in the pitch. I think he's a very important player for us.
Yeah, 100%. And as Lee's put it here, good to see you again, Lee. Make sure you get them comments in. It's a 7 o'clock transfer window on the 1st of September, not the 11 o'clock we're usually used to.
Right.
Just to plug it out there now whilst we're here, me and Kieran and Dan potentially will be doing a transfer deadline day live. So come and join us on transfer deadline day. Give us your opinion on everything's going on. But it will be a 7 o'clock transfer deadline. Does that take a factor that you lose the adrenaline and the hype of, well, we've got till 11 o'clock to get it sorted, so they need to be more consistent on deadline day? And does that open us up to have a more of a manic deadline day?
I don't think we'll have more of a manic deadline day. I think we'll have a more. I think the early finish will really push people to get the day before deadline day deals done.
Yeah.
And so I think that'll be where the big change comes. I think people submitting a deal at 3 o'clock and it's still going through just before 11. Don't do that on transfer deadline day. They do it the day before with an earlier finish. It kind of threw us off, didn't it, last week when we found out it was a 7 o'clock deadline. So we were a bit like, oh, that's a bit of a shock. But yeah, I do think we have a busier day the day before transfer deadline day rather than the actual day itself.
So, but what about, if I say manic deadline day, I don't just necessarily, because obviously on Unplugged here we like to discuss all things football, not necessarily just Blues. We try and make it that we're a bit open, and we'll get into other conversations later about stuff. But just the transfer deadline day in general is a crazy day. Jim White on Sky Sports with his yellow tie on, counting down the clock as it always was growing up. Does that open up a big transfer deadline day in general? And do we necessarily not see manic players coming in, but do we see a few players leaving on deadline day? And if so, is that where we're going to get the busy side of it, of not necessarily players coming in, but players leaving out?
Leaving us?
Yeah.
I don't see it now, to be honest. The squad depth is, other than people like the younger lot that may go out on loan, a few more of those.
Yeah. Person I would say
don't think
leaves is, go on,
is who?
Tyler Roberts, because he hasn't been assigned a shirt number this season.
I didn't even realise he still played for us.
Yeah, I looked at it the other day, and he's still registered as with us, contracted till I think 2027. But yeah, hasn't been given a shirt number this year, so I feel like it's one of those where it's, if you want to leave, get yourself a new club.
Just ask Blackburn; they're taking in all of our dead wood. So Blackpool.
At the moment.
Can you hear me?
Oh, Blackpool, yeah.
Yeah, Blackpool are taking all of our dead wood. So
It's
I would
typical
say
that I've been away for a week and I come back and the signal's awful.
yeah. This is not good. In terms
Try and get them
of
sorted.
if I see anybody leaving, not really. I do see us bringing some other people in. I do wonder if the Isak thing is going to get sorted, because that's a huge blow from him. It reminds me of was it Peter Odemwingie that turned up at the training ground of a team he wanted
yeah,
he
was
wanted
playing
to
for
move
West
there,
Brom
so
and
he just turned up.
QPR.
Yeah. Crazy times, but that kind of reminds me of that, but a digital media, a social media version of it. And I think Isak will, if he doesn't leave, I don't think he's going to play for Newcastle again. So that's a big end of transfer kind of thing that we'll see this year, I think.
Did you obviously we're going to the Isak conversation we're going to have? Did you see that he finally put a statement out yesterday during the PFAs regarding what's going on? If I could try and find if it's still up. Obviously, he hasn't really spoken since, but he put, "I'm proud to be recognised by my fellow professionals with a place in the PFA Premier League Team of the Season for 2024-2025. First and foremost, I want to thank my teammates and everyone at Newcastle United who has supported me along the way. I'm not at the ceremony tonight. With everything going on, it didn't feel right to be there. I've kept quiet for a long time while others have spoken. The silence has allowed people to push their own version of events, even though they know it doesn't reflect what was really said and agreed behind closed doors. The reality is the promises were made to me by the club, and the club has known my position for a long time. To now act as if these issues are only emerging is misleading. When promises are broken and trust is lost, the relationship cannot continue. That's where things for me are right now, and why change is in the best interest for everyone, not just myself, Alexander Isak." Obviously, he's now come out and basically trying to say whether there's truth behind it or not. That what Newcastle basically come out and said about it all is not correct.
Yeah,
You obviously mentioned
he's
about
saying that
the
they've said
breakdown
he
in the
can
club,
leave.
and they've basically said, well, if Liverpool come in for you, we'll let you go, but only if Liverpool come in. For example, Liverpool have come in and they've gone, no, we don't want it. But is that hard to build that relationship, do you reckon, from a player to a club's point of view, or is it going to be hard? Would it be harder if you were to bring him back in for fans to connect back with him, knowing that what people
I
are saying
think
aren't true?
at Newcastle, they remind me a lot of Birmingham. They're hardworking people and they're proper fans. So I would say that we'd give him loads of shit if he was a Birmingham City player saying that. Everybody would be like,
Yeah.
well, fuck off then. And I don't know how well it would go down if they ended up staying and then Chris Davis was like, I want him in my team. I think half the fan base will be like, no, fuck him, he said he doesn't want to be here. And the other half would be like, if Chris Davis believes that he is all in, then I believe he's all in. So I think that would be the direction it would be if he was a Blues fan. And I think Newcastle aren't a Blues player, sorry, and Newcastle aren't much different in terms of that. So I would say he'd struggle to go back, and that's why it probably is best for everybody to end that relationship. It's very the opposite. They've
I am going to be a
comments coming
pain
in about
because my signal keeps
Bielik.
cutting out.
What?
Can we bear with me 2 seconds? I am just going to switch over to my phone because my signal on my laptop is awful. Let me work
I
out what's
will
going on
talk.
because there's no.
I will talk to
Yeah,
you in
I
the
think the Bielik
comments.
situation, if you want to leave that. Yeah.
All right, so I'll take over and I'll talk to the people in the comments about Christian Bielik. I'm sad to see Bielik go. I really am. Like, to come through and sign a new contract when we got relegated and the first one to really think. Josh, mute yourself. And he was the first one to sign a new contract once we got relegated, and he was the first one to stand there and put his hands up and go, we weren't good enough, so let's go. I am sad to see him go, but on the other hand, it does leave us a little bit short, but he won't want to be a fourth choice centre back, especially with a World Cup coming up next year and him wanting to push for the Poland team still. So I think West Brom's a good move for him. It doesn't mean he has to move that far, well, at all. So he can stay where he's living. So there's no rooting involved, and they're a great team, but they're not quite Birmingham City. So sorry, Lee. I think you might get a little bit upset about that. But yeah, I think him leaving is a positive for Christian Bielik, and Birmingham aren't going to be in that much of a loss without him.
I'm hoping I am back now. All is good.
You are very crackly.
I'm crackly. Bear me 2 seconds. Let me do it this way. How's that?
That's better.
Perfect. We are back.
Oh,
Sorry about
it's not.
that. Is it not?
No.
Gotta love technology, eh? When it doesn't want to work, eh?
Your technology.
Yeah. Perks of it all. Just doesn't want to work.
Where did you go? There's a whole
Where
thing
have
on.
I can't see you. I don't know if people can see me.
Oh, we're back. I can see everything.
Yeah, I can't.
Okay, I will continue talking. You sort it out.
Yeah.
Can I pin this? No, I can't. Dan said, "Yeah, I was really sad to see him go. He's been brilliant, but I like that we're letting go a great player in the dressing room, and shows how far we've come." Yeah, I completely agree. I think the same with Alfie May. When you see all of the stuff about Alfie May, he was so attached to his team, and the owners liked him, and I think he was a huge part of the team. But I think that brutal side of Birmingham City, because they're like, we're going here, you're not quite going to be getting the minutes that we think you deserve. I think that's how they're going about these transfers. Sit down to Alfie May and say, we're going to bring in a couple of strikers. You might get a couple of minutes, but it's up to you. And I think they said the same to Bielik, something along those lines of, you're going to be the fourth choice. So if you want to play, find yourself somewhere. I think that'd be essentially what has come from that.
I'm hoping I'm now back. Am I all connected?
I can see you and hear you, and you are not crackly.
Perfect. Sorry about that, guys. It's first day back, and typical that my Wi-Fi wants to go and play on a wobble. But we are back anyway. What have we been saying?
I said, sad to see Bielik go, and
Yeah.
how like brutal Blues have been with saying you're going to be the fourth choice, and that's that. So I think with the benefit of bringing in new players is we have managed to bring in other people around them and be like, God, I'd love you to stay as a person, but I think you will be the fourth choice. And I think that's a huge plus from Birmingham at the moment.
I know. Obviously, the point you touched on was one of the players that we went down. He obviously signed the new contract and stuff. And I think that just showed the kind of person in him that he was like that.
And also halfway through the season, that iconic statement where he's like, "We're going to the Premier League."
Yeah,
like, get promoted.
it's a
Iconic.
shit league or something like that. He said. I think it shows the kind of person he is. Obviously, that was his second spell with Blues. I loved him both times he's played, and I think he's a very important player that West Brom are going to bring in, and he's going to do him really well. Like you said, being third, fourth, potentially if you bring in Davis, fifth ranked centre half, can't see it happening.
Well, you got cash in.
Yeah, as Richard put it here, Davis has said he wants 4 more players, another centre back, a left back, and 2 wingers. So that's what I mean. So if he does bring in Ben Davis as a centre back, that means then Bielik would have been 5th choice. I can't imagine he'd get in a CDM position over some of the other players that we've got. And obviously the other point you touched on as well, there's a World Cup coming up in 12 months.
Yeah,
he's going to want to be on that
why
Poland
he's
squad.
wanted to play.
Yeah, he's going to be in that he wants to be in that Poland squad for that selection. There's a lot going on at Poland at the moment, where you see it in the news with Lewandowski and the coaches and stuff like that. And I feel like Paul said, he's a star and he'll do well at Baggies.
Yeah.
I think he is a great player. He's a good leader. He's got a good mindset and morale on him. Obviously, it'd have been boosted with the help of Tom Brady and Tom Wagner and players like that are going to bring in and instill what we've got on him. But I think his mindset was already there to be a great player, and he's going to do really good. Dan has just said, Kieran, your screen is off.
Is it?
Yeah, it's on my side. It's black, but Dan has put it. So fix your screen because it's not my fault this time. But yeah, I feel like
Am I
he's
back?
going to. No, you just got a black screen.
Oh.
It's not going well, guys. It's not the best
Right,
stream
I'm
you can
gonna.
watch.
If I leave,
Just go. I'll rabble on. I'm sure people
all right.
won't care. But yeah, I said about Bielik, he's one of those players where he's got a good head on his shoulders, and I think the thing that annoys me the most about Bielik is the fact he's gone to West Brom. Just because it's a rivalry, but saying that, we brought him from Derby, and they want to make a rivalry out of it. But I feel like he's going to do well at Blackburn, West Brom even. He's going to do well, and I think he'll be a great player. I'm hearing ex-Violet and current Ajax player Bertrand Traore is a possible transfer. Thoughts on that? Haven't heard it myself. Saying that, had to go on holiday, so I haven't had much time online. But I didn't rate him when he was at Villa. I know he's probably got good stats and he can play, and he's that winger that probably Davis could instill his kind of philosophy on. I just don't think I'd want Bertrand Traore. Doesn't seem the kind of, as much as Davis can put his philosophy onto him, he doesn't seem that kind of player that's already there. Whereas you look at a lot of the other players that have already come in, players like Kyogo, I can see you. I see you like a statue. But you look at players like Kyogo and Damari and Asai Samuel that have come in, they've already got the philosophy that and the mindset that Davis wants. I just don't think Bertrand Traore has. Just talking on this one, kid, about apparently rumoured for Bertrand Traore, ex-Villa, current Ajax player. Thoughts on that one?
Can't say I know much about him, but if he played for Villa, then he's already not got the best welcome. But we've had some good players like Liam Ridgewell.
Scott Hogan. Craig Gardner, obviously club legend now, obviously come from Villa. But yeah, I don't think I'd want him. I don't think he's got the right philosophy that Davis should be looking at. And
the
I feel
Liverpool
like
kid excites me.
Kumas, yeah.
Yeah.
Now I haven't seen much on it. I've obviously seen that we posted about it earlier. Is it Jason Kumas's son?
I don't know.
Who
I'd
Jason
expect
Kumas?
so. It's not a very common name, is it?
Okay, let's have a quick gander. Kumas, Liverpool. Because his dad was a very good player, and if he's anything like his dad, yeah, Kumas is the son of former Wales international football player Jason Kumas, who had a very, very good career, and was a hard-working ball-playing midfielder. If he's anything like his dad could be.
I watched a video of him earlier. He plays on the left and the right wing. I think primarily right wing. He's fast. He takes on players for fun. His feet are quick. And he can cross onto a 50 pence. So if we could get someone like him, that would be insane. I don't know if it'll be a loan or something, but that's the sort of player we need to be looking at, I think.
obviously I've seen the report earlier that we are looking for a permanent transfer for him. So bringing a player of that caliber, bringing on a permanent is.
Yeah,
I'm
and
all good for
young.
it, like bringing someone that's going to be that good. But the problem we've got is, and I don't know if I mentioned it in the podcast last time I spoke to some of you boys offline, but we're looking for right wing and left wing. Left wing I can understand because we've only got Keshi at the moment, but you've just brought Damari Gray in, and I feel like everyone's like, we need a new right winger, and I'm sort of going, well, I kind of feel bad for Damari Gray because if he sees it all, I'm like, oh, we need a new right wing. He is a quality player, and he has shown it in the 3 games he's played. Why are
But
people crying out for a right winger?
if you look at the first few games, they swap. So Kyogo's goal the other day,
Yeah,
Damari Gray's on the left wing, chasing down the ball, wins the ball, passes it across. The goal that Lyndon Dykes scored, he's on the right wing. He runs
yeah,
down, takes the player on, and gets the ball across. I think the idea wouldn't be to have a left wing and a right wing and a 9 and a 10. I think the 4 completely interchange. And what I saw the other day was them doing that. Stansfield had dropped deeper and then like deep and then to the left a little bit. And he was getting the ball loads there. And actually, then he's able to
deep line
run
number 10
people.
role.
Yeah. So he was like, he was playing number 10, but like to the left. So he was like linking up that side. And
Yeah,
he was able to get the ball, turn, and run at people, which is obviously where we know he's dangerous. Then you've got a Kyogo at 9 who can also drop back. The 2 wingers can swap sides or play 10. So I think that front line would be almost completely interchangeable. Then you bring in someone like our joint top goal scorer or second top goal scorer, Lyndon Dykes and Dutch. And
yeah.
you really got like a second set of attacks. Um, I think Lyndon Dykes watched the podcast last week because he was a different player. Well,
Potentially.
A, he scored, and B, like he did really put in an effort to get around, and the team effort from that goal in the 101st minute of the game, 6 players running from a defensive header and sprinting the full length of the pitch to be there to score the goal at the end. That must have filled Chrissy Davis with so much happiness as to like they all want to win. And then
Yeah,
Stansfield's interview after it, did you see that?
the Pensfield.
Yeah, but where he said that I don't know if it was the Blues one or the Sky Sports one, where he basically said when he scored and it went to 1-1, he's there celebrating, they're wasting time.
And
And
then
one
we're
of the
like, it's
players
11
went,
minutes.
yeah, one of the players went, there's 11 minutes added on, boys, let's go win this. And that's it. They all just finished celebrating, ran
Yep,
back, and then went and won the game. Like that mentality is
crazy.
Tom Brady esque positivity that we are, well, we're just going to go win this then. If we've got 11 minutes, oh yeah, we'll definitely score again. And I love that from them.
I can hear myself going crackly, and I'm worried that it's going to do it on the stream again. So I'm going to shut this one down and hope that we can carry on going. But yeah, so obviously looking at other transfers that he's wanting. Again, we obviously looked at that Kumas and we've looked at other players in the past. What kind of players do you think are going to come in? Who would you like to see come in? Maybe that in the positions that Davis has said.
Definitely that Kumas lad, he looks exciting.
Yeah,
I would welcome Ben Davis back, but then he's been linked with a few other championship clubs. I think we need a second Alex Cochrane 2.0. But I don't think it's a huge priority. I think we could bring someone in that's be happy to play second fiddle to Alex Cochrane, but I don't think that's what Davis wants. He wants two first teamers fighting for a first team t-shirt.
I think that's the thing as well though with Davis is he wants it to be able to be. I don't have a set team. He seems to like the challenge of having that difficult period of having to pick a player to come in and play and etc. And I think he thrives off it, knowing that he hasn't got a set team.
Yeah.
And that's why you say like the second Cochrane coming in. I feel like he utilises that to his advantage. Of if I've got players pushing their best, well, they're always going to be at their best.
Do you know who Caden Robinson is?
No, who's he played for?
Don't know. Someone's paying, but I bring in Caden Robinson. He goes past players like nothing with pace, and his pace is unreal. I don't know who that is.
Never heard of him before. To
But
give
if
my
Chris
10
Davis
points.
wants him, I'm in.
Yeah, I've said it in the past. I will back the manager 100%. And I think like some of our fans are at the point where they'll be like,
oh, he's one of our youth team players.
oh, not a clue. Never.
I will be going to look at him after this because anybody that can get in through the academy would be great for the club, and I think Chris Davis would love to be promoting the youth through the team as much as possible. So I think it could be potential, but I just think we'd go for. I said last week, I think the main priority this year with how much the owners are pushing is to compete rather than to play around. I think this year the main goal is promotion. Then we spend big again in the summer, and then our goal is to stay in the league, which the last few years has been harder and harder and harder. The three that have gone up have pretty much gone down every year for the last like 3 or 4 years. And I think our main goal will be to stay in the league, and then that year after, I feel like that's where we might start bringing in a few of the youth. Now, if he's 18 now, he'll be sort of 21, 22. That's the sort of player that we'll be looking at then. I just think at the moment, I did learn something the other day that they're playing the same philosophy of football right throughout the club.
Yeah, I seen something that said about Steve Spooner in the time off has basically worked with Davis to try and make sure that the way that the under 21s and under 18s go are the same way as
It's not
the
Steve
first
Spooner
team
anymore,
go.
is it?
Is it not Steve Spooner anymore? It is Spooner, isn't it?
Hmm.
I thought you went
He
back
was let go
into
last year. It's that new guy that's come back to the club.
potentially. It was. I swear it was Spooner that was talking. Or was that last season they were talking? And he was saying that basically they want the philosophy feel the same, and their aim is to even the young players they're bringing in is to immediately get them in this philosophy of working the same way as the first team, so players can be linked in that easier.
Yeah,
to the
it does
first
become
team.
such a big change. And I think their routine, their warm ups, everything is linked to the same. And I think that's quite important when we get to the point of wanting to bring them through. Is the change between there and there is minimal, even though it's a huge jump.
Yeah.
But that jump becomes less of a jump if they've been in and around the first team in training, or so they know some of the guys, and the guys know how they play, and they also know exactly what Chris Davis demands of them rather than the 21s coach. So I think it'll work out really good in the long run. And if you see any of like Man City's youth that come up into the first team, that they slot straight in, and I think
Yeah.
that's probably the same philosophy as let's build them now for in 4 years' time. But I would
Yeah.
definitely have a look at that Caden guy.
We'll do our a little bit of research on him to try and find out exactly
Caden
a bit more
Robinson.
information. Caden
What
Robinson.
are other people's thoughts? Who are people expecting or wanting to come in from outside the club for what we need?
Yeah. Who would be your big signing if you could have this? Like we've seen the rumours and it's floated around
Would
in
it
our
be
group chats all the
Mitrovic?
time.
I don't think we need Mitrovic.
Yeah, I don't think we do, but a lot of people saying that we've got this big £10 million signing still to come, and it's if you've got 10 million, you're being realistic. So no one's saying Messi or Ronaldo because it ain't going to happen. But if you've got 10 million to spend on a player, who are you going out and getting? Let us know in the comments, and we'll get some of your opinions out, and we can obviously get a conversation going on that. Because that's going to be a big thing of obviously come September the 1st, where our potential lineup's going to be at the beginning of September for the next 7-8 months of the season.
Let's talk about two that pop up right now. So you got Mitrovic and Oxlade-Chamberlain. I personally wouldn't have either of them. Yes, I do like Mitrovic, and he is a proven goal scorer, but he isn't going to do what Chris Davis wants, tracking back, chasing it down. He's not that sort of player. He's a give me the ball and I'll score. I don't think we'd get the best out of him in this team. Yes, he's an absolute bagsman and he would destroy the league, but he's getting old, and I don't think he'll be able to do what Chris Davis wants. And the other one is the Ox, and I think he's like a poppadom how often he breaks.
Very much made of glass.
Yeah, I don't think that'd be a right move either, because he won't be on small money. But I think I wouldn't take either of them.
Lee said in the transfer window, Tom Fellows £20 from West Brom. £20, I'll have him.
20 quid? Yes.
Yeah.
I will.
20 million. I think that's ridiculous pricing for it. Don't get me wrong, he's a good player and he's a good championship player, but we want Premier League worthy players. 20 million for a player like that I just don't, I can't see him being a 20 million. I'd probably pay 10 million to have him, knowing that with the right training and the right management group, he's going to be a lot better of a player. But I wouldn't be paying 20.
Only Stansfield is worth £20 million in the Birmingham City team. I don't think we end up getting Tom Fellows. I do think he is a good player, but if that's the sort of money that they're wanting for him, he's not going to be a Birmingham City player, I don't think. I would love a last minute announcement from Wagner again on deadline day, but I guess we can't bank on that happening again. What is happening with the technology today? It is very, very broken. That is what it is. Very, very broken. But it's just me here, guys. Again, God, we are having a terrible day for technology. Bielik, Hall, and Chang. I hope they get a few games this season. Bielik is unreal. I think he's been great in the last few in the pre-seasons, and what I've seen of him, I've been really, really impressed. Does he get in front of Dux, Lyndon Dykes, Jay Stansfield, and Kyogo? I don't know. Squad rotation is going to be important, but I think even in the cup games, from the lineup that we had the other day, I do think that Chris Davis wants a cup run. So I don't even think we're going to have much youth playing those. And we, in the Blues Focus chat the other day, did a prime our number one picks versus the players that are left as a second team. And that was unreal. And that wasn't even including any of the youth academy. Like, that would be a good game between the first team and the not so first team. They're not the initial 11 that we pick most of the time. So I don't know if we see much youth this year. Hall and Chang, obviously, they're always in and around, but I just don't know. I don't know if they're ever going to be the level that their potential should allow them to be. I mean, we see George Hall, absolutely rapid, loses the end ball sometimes, but absolutely rapid. I just don't think he's consistent enough for himself to do what it would. I take to Heath Chong back from Luton? No, I would not. Talking about inconsistency, he was absolutely great when he wanted to play, and most of the time you'd lose him in the middle of the pitch. Well, you wouldn't lose him because he's got a massive afro, but like he would just go get disappeared in games, but when he wanted to play, he was unreal. So I just don't think we need to be carrying inconsistencies at the moment. And I think that'll be a big thing in the recruitment team is, yes, they do this, they do that, they do this that Chris Davis wants, they press, they do this, but are they consistent? And I think that's where you're seeing people like Neumann, for example, has just come in, he's hit the ground running, and he is consistent. I think he's probably going to be the best player that we've bought this year, just because he's absolutely solid. And if something somehow managed to get past Clara, he's there, and then that becomes a different problem again. And the same the other way around. So I'm really, really happy with what we've got. I would not take Heath Chong back. I think he's the wrong kind of player for what we need. And I don't think his attitude is right. And have they gone down again? Did Luton go down again to League One? I can't see because I've had to turn my laptop off. So computer issues are completely ruining us today, guys. So that is not fun. Okay. Gustavo Hamer. I don't know who that is either. Wait, did he play against us? I'm so bad at this bit. This is where Josh helps a lot on this pod because he knows everybody, and then it reminds me who they are. Yeah, I thought they did go down, Paul. I thought no, I think
What you talk about?
Gustavo Hamer.
Sheffield United.
Did we play him the other day, didn't we?
Yeah,
he
he
was the
scored
player
against
that
us
looked
the
decent,
halfway
I
line
think.
for against us. Yeah, halfway. The ridiculous goal.
Yeah. That's why I know his name. Yeah, he controlled that middle of the park as much as what he could, I guess. I do
Your
like.
camera's gone again, Kieran. This is really not a good day for technology. My phone overheated. Your camera's gone off.
I think we should go and because this has just been chaos after chaos, and it is getting really hard to maintain. So I can see you.
Well, I'm just waiting for my phone to turn back on, which should be good.
And I can hear you.
Well, that's a good sign. Am I in time with my voice, or am I behind?
You're really crackly.
Yep,
I think we should just probably, for technology's sake, call this, because this is just painful. This isn't going to do us any favours.
Give me 2 seconds.
People in the comments, is it really, really bad for your side as well? Because this is between me and something is not working right with our computers. So when one logs in, it messes the other one up. So I don't know what's really going on. Is it? It's bad, very bad. Yeah, I thought it would be. I was hoping it wasn't, and you guys are all at home like, I don't know what they're moaning about. But yeah, this isn't usually the case. There's a few bugs in the woodwork today, it seems.
I'm hoping I'm now back.
I think we should just have a quick chat about Saturday's game and our predictions, and then maybe just get.
Josh looks good. Oh, thanks, mate. Appreciate it. Yeah, I don't know what it is, Key. You've gone black and you sound like underwater. But we will have a quick discussion, like you said, about Saturday. Oxford United coming to Blues. I'm gonna go get your score prediction in the comments, guys. Obviously, I understand this is not how you wanted your Wednesday evening to go with a live lounge of unplugged session, live streaming, whatever they call it nowadays. But unfortunately, technology likes to play its part. I'm going to just pin up this comment just because I spoke to the lads before the transfer season started and seen that he was going on a free as Burnley's captain. And I think he'd be a great signing. He would be where I'd put the money in the contract to try and get him in the line. If he's wanting that little bit extra than what people are having, I feel like he pushes us up into a Premier League squad. He's got obviously Premier League experience. And again, like you've put in there, Burnley wouldn't have got promoted without him. I think they're a bit silly not to give him a contract extension. From what I read, the offer they offered him was well below par, which is why he didn't agree. But I think he's an absolute steal to go in and get. 100% think that's where I'd be putting my money. But we'll go on to Saturday. Paul has gone 2-0 Blues. This has gone 1-0 Blues. Will be a hard game. I think this could be like a Mansfield Barnsley kind of game. The end of last season, where we're currently in the Championship. We're not had a bad start. We've had a draw against promotion favourites. We've had a nice win over Sheffield United that again weren't easy to come by. We've had the drama and the fun of Blackburn. I think at home, 27,000 Birmingham City fans. It's an atmosphere people don't like going to. I think it's 4-5-0. Lee's gone Birmingham 4, Oxford 1. I don't see Oxford scoring, if I'm honest. They've not had obviously a good start and they've not been the best, but I feel like, yeah. Mansfield and obviously Barnsley last season were 6-0 and a 4-0. I feel like that's an Oxford this week and go and make
the other bonus we've got here is being a Gary Rowett team. They're going to be low block, and that's everything we played last season in 90% of the games. So we know how to get through it, get around it, and I think some of the teams last year have perfected that.
Yeah.
I do think, again, being the home atmosphere, we could be in for a big win. We've got to take someone at the minute. We're creating so much and playing so well. I do think we give Gary a nice big warm welcome back with a 4-5-6-0.
Like Rockbuster's put it here, we need to stamp our mark on this game. If we have any ambition to be a top 6, we should be putting up Oxford to bed 3-0. Totally agree.
Amen.
If we are, as silly as it sounds, the teams like Oxford, Portsmouth, Sheffield Wednesday, the current where they are, I put QPR in that kind of point, Derby in that. From my prediction, I'd put them kind of teams in that point. Those are the teams you need to be going and putting as many as you can past them. Just because they are the lower league teams and they are the teams that Charlton, another one of them, even though they proved to be difficult for us last season, but they're the teams that you need to go make your stamp on and make your point clear. We're not here to just get one goal wins or play for points and stuff. We're here to make a point that we are a top 6 team. We want Premier League football. We won't stop till we're in the Prem. And I think, unfortunately,
and also, I think in the next 8 weeks or something, it is that we've only got 2 home games. So I feel like we need to take advantage of that crowd whilst it's there, because then we've got a little bit of a lull where we're away in a lot of the games over the next 2 months. And I do think the crowd really, really help us at home. So I think that'll be in Davis's mind because he thinks about everything, where he'll be like, we've got the crowd, we're unbeaten at home, they're going to come and sit and low block us and try and counter attack. They're not getting past Clara and Neumann anytime soon. So I do think we will absolutely be fully loaded and machine gun the life out of their goal.
I think the other thing, the other big thing to look at,
it depends
as
on the
well,
referee.
Yeah, but the other thing, big thing to look at with the Oxford game, especially, is obviously we play Oxford on Saturday. Then we've got Port Vale at home in the cup, which again, I wouldn't call it a walk in the park. It's a cup game. They're going to be up for the big challenge of knocking out a championship team. But then we've got 2 days and we play Leicester at the King Power. No, there is no better way of going into that Leicester game than smashing Oxford 3-4-5-0, and then maybe playing a bit of a weaker squad, but going and beating Port Vale 2-3-0, and shipping in the 7-8 goals in 2 games before you go to Leicester, who have had a horrible time off the field and haven't had the best of starts to the season. They beat Sheffield Wednesday, and I'm pretty sure they won the other day. Oh, they lost to Preston, actually. But they only beat Sheffield Wednesday because Sheffield Wednesday went down to 10 men. They didn't look like they were going to beat them. They struggled. They obviously lost to Preston, or drew. I don't actually know what the result was. But I've got a best friend that's a Leicester fan, and he's saying, if we're playing like we are at the moment, we're going to go to the King Power and just absolutely walk all over them. But Leicester are tough opponents coming up that are going to be up there, and I feel like sticking 7-8 goals in 2 games, there's no better way to put it than doing that, and then go to the King Power. And like I'll say it now, I'd happily take a draw from there, but if we could walk away with 3 points, even better.
Yeah, I think the current situation, I think I'd be happy with a draw at Leicester. If we keep playing like we are and we're going in with these big numbers that we'd love, and they continue in the rockiness, I think we go there with the absolute intention of rolling them over as well.
Yeah.
But I do think this weekend is going to be. It is either going to be exactly what Gary Rowett wants, in terms of it's going to be 0-0, or it'll be a 1-0 win for us.
Yeah.
Or we do use our experience from playing 90% of the time last year against a low block and just fully send the wings and go for it. And I think that's what we'll do with that fluid front line, where they'll get used to who they're marking. But if we keep changing them up, that they won't keep up. So I think that's where we've got them with the quality that we've got at the front. We could confuse them.
Just having a look at our, say, the next 8 fixtures we've got. So we've got Oxford Saturday, I said Port Vale next Tuesday in the Cup, Leicester on the Friday. Then we've got an international break for 2 weeks, which is where we did want to try and take the podcast, if it's going to play ball with us right now. We will try and go and discuss England and the World Cup coming up, and just see
I
what's
don't
going
think
on.
we should. You're really, really crackly still.
I think you'll find it's your side. You're awful.
Yeah, I don't think we should go much longer than now.
But the 4 fixtures we've got after the international break, we also 5, shall I say. We have Stoke City away on the 13th. Then a week later, we have Swansea at home, Coventry away, Sheffield Wednesday at home, and then the Hollywood Derby on the Friday, October 3rd against Wrexham away. Those are the 5 fixtures straight after the international break. Now, do we go into Oxford playing that?
I can't hear a word that's being said.
Well, I'll just have to talk to the people.
Yeah.
Do we?
I might just go. This is painful.
Yeah. You could just drop into the comments and post then. So
I think we should just end today, because it's you and I that aren't doing very well. We've been going an hour.
well,
I think what the people think, is it painful for everybody? I can hear you both. I can't hear Josh. That's hard to have a conversation with. I think I'm worried about is Dembele. 10 out of 10 performance. Dembele. Wouldn't be worried about Dembele.
he'll have his good game though, won't he?
Probably won't even play.
Probably not. Whilst you can hear me anyway, knowing that break's coming up, do we play weaker against Port Vale, or do we go for the cup?
I don't think Chris Davis knows what weaker means.
Kieran, call it.
Chris Davis plays every game to win the Chris Davis way.
Yeah.
So I think that would be what I'd say. I don't think he'll field a weaker team at all. So big win this weekend, and then move it forward, and then obviously next week's pods we'll speak about the games next week.
That's fine. Finally, give me first goal scorer this weekend.
Ethan Ladd.
Okay. I'm going to go with Iwata to score first. So we'll call it there. Obviously, not had the best of situations today with technology. It's our favourite, is it? Don't want to work. As always, conversation continues. So make sure you carry on liking the channel, subscribe to us whenever you can. Get your comments in below. We do go through them after, and we will pick points in for next week. Let us know your thoughts. Let us know what you want to discuss. Let's say we've got an international break coming up, so we will still be doing the unplugged during the international break, with a slight twist that we'll just discuss England and any transfer issues there that come in. But we will be going discussing England. Obviously, they'll be playing a couple of games. I'm not sure who they're playing, but we'll get onto that one next week and discuss the World Cup next year. Make sure you're keeping your eye on the channel. We have a lot of stuff coming up. Want to say a big thank you to our 3 sponsors, Tipple, RM Risk Management, and Tilton Road Clothing. You guys are fantastic, and we couldn't do this without you guys. And yeah, keep your eyes out. As I said, Tommy will have his podcast, the vlog out on Saturday of the game, so make sure you give that a watch. And he'll also have a podcast out Sunday evening. Going forward, we'll have a podcast out every Sunday, and we'll have the Unplugged every Wednesday. So make sure you check in next week, 7:30, same place that you are right now, and we will be back, hopefully without technology issues. But we will be back next week for another round. So make sure you get your comments involved. Just a quick one. Nick has said Stano to score first this weekend. Pensfield, that's all he can do is score goals for us.
Peno.
But we'll leave it at that for today. Hopefully get some better quality stuff. And we will see you next week. As I said, keep your eyes out on the channel. And as always, keep right on.